is it time to... Do you think it's How do we do this? Do we take it in turns to take one thing out, or
we might be here a very long time. We could say one thing each, or
yeah,
like the ping pong idea.
Yeah, okay.
So back something to me, and I'll back something back.
Okay.
Or something like that.
Without comments, or talking about why we chose to put those in the suitcase?
Yeah, maybe.
I think that made it into the suitcase because I don't know if you know Jonathan Burrows, but he has a way of offering advice and undoing it. It's really a cleverly written little book about some things that one might take for granted in making, and just on doing those, on stitching those. Yeah, so sometimes when I'm making and I feel a bit stuck, just opening it, pretty much any page, he'll say things like, you know, nudity is no more neutral than any costume, or things like that, or yeah, lots of helpful things about making, but also performing.
I'll give you a book to look at too. I don't know if you've seen that, but
you mentioned it.
Yeah, it's an anthropologist, Tim Involved, and it just makes sense about how we do things and why, in terms of lines and stitches and walking, making, putting things together, singing, writing.
Wow. Ooh, I have to.
And I haven't ever read it cover to cover. It's not that sort of book. I've sort of dipped in and out. And
great. Oh wow, I like it already. And it reminds me of another book I haven't brought. It reminds me of just I'm a bit obsessed with maps. Similarly, just routes and tracing and paths.
What book's that?
There's a book of maps, all sorts of maps collected through time, and fantastical ones, and Ulysses maps just drawn by somebody at the time.
I think I know what the book is. I haven't got it, but it's a very nice book.
I want to say the rabbit something or other. I'll have to look it up. Oh, maybe I can ask Phil to bring it.
Yeah.
Or London maybe.
Yeah.
I'm afraid mine are mainly books.
That's fine. Right. We don't have to.
Have you heard of Goat Island?
Yes.
Yeah, they're a performance group.
Yeah.
I saw them only once live, and I came across them through their writing about process. And I hear you talking about process, and you're interested in that. And I found that my biggest inspiration before going into the studio for a while was reading other people's experience of process and how they got into things. And again, that's a little book with little gems about making. Very interesting book. Again, you can so easily dip in and out of something quite personal, I guess. To the performers. Yeah, it's lovely.
I had to go out and get another copy of this because I gave my last one away as well. Have you ever seen it? Somebody, one of my friends, suggested that I watched it a few years ago, and it's brilliant. It's kind of on watching.
It's green.
It's green, yes. Oh God, it is green.
It's green! My God, that's brilliant.
But it's just fantastic. It's very, it's based on true story.
Okay.
of, I guess they were like sort of anthropologists who were watching the habits of men in their kitchen, single men in their kitchen. But they were meant to do it in silence, and it's just a great story about how this watching changed into something else.
Ah, nice. And where was it?
It's kind of
Swedish or no?
It's
Norwegian
kind of
and
Scandinavian,
English.
so I think the researchers came from Sweden, but maybe it was in.
It has an otherworldly feel to it just from the few images there. Quite surreal.
So
It's quite great. I love the procession of cars. Beautiful. Oh God, when are we going to watch?
We'll just be watching films
Yeah,
and
we will.
reading books.
You come across this before? Tarkovsky Polaroids.
Mhm.
And I just love them. Yeah. Just the sense of, I don't know, there's the light, there's a kind of,
Green.
yeah, there's green. There's green.
Oh yes.
There's,
Oh yeah, I can see the resemblance
see.
in that, in some of your
yeah,
images.
something about the light for sure. About something about the absence and feeling his gaze on the things in some of those pictures. So yeah, something to look at. I don't know, have you seen much of many of his films?
Yeah, a few.
I don't think I've seen Andrei Rublev. Two of his.
I haven't seen this book. And then I've got one more film and I can't remember what it is. Ah, have you seen this?
No, that rings a bell, but I haven't seen
Mervyn
it. Mervyn
Day.
Day.
I actually went and saw the premiere of Mervyn Day at the Barbican, and it's in Tettian. We're playing live because it was one of their projects.
Oh, okay.
And it happened. They planned and they did shoot it on the day of the London bombings. So the 7th of July, 2007, was it? Or was it 2005? Yeah. And so they had planned, because it was also the day after the Olympics had been announced, and so Mervyn Day is shot all through that kind of area around Hackney Wick, and actually it's quite nice because you can't get this, but one of my friends just rang up the producer and said, I really want to watch it, and they sent it to her, so we can watch that. It's very nice. He's riding around on a bicycle, exploring parts of the city that have changed forever, and I'm really fascinated by how London changes over time.
Lovely. Yeah, we can definitely watch that. That's quite an odd one. It's just something that I always take with me in the studio. I like sometimes in performance, I guess, using sound on stage, and cassettes is how I do it often. And it's getting it's getting harder and harder to find something that's reliable and kind of loud enough. And I just quite like the idea of recording sound as well. So there we go. That made it into a suitcase.
I'm going to try that out. And now I've got a mass of stuff in here, some of which is, I'll just get some bits out. Yeah. I picked up a piece of my work because I thought that, and I can bring more as well, but I thought that it would be good for us to think about how things are made.
That's lovely.
So that's
just the feel of things, isn't it? It's really nice.
It's steel, so it's enamel glass on steel. And then just to counter that, I think this piece. So, I trained in workshops like the ones we're looking at, and I used to. So that piece, you know the piece of machinery we were looking at and she was showing us the
the little cups. And,
so
that's how
this is made.
See, I didn't really get the.
Okay, so that started off life as a flat metal disc, and that's raised over that former and pushed. So those sticks you could see behind. Sticks where.
I don't really understand how you get.
We'll
that
go
shape.
down there, and I'll show you.
So I guess whatever that shape is, it's the shape of the ball, and you just
push the metal over the top.
Yeah.
But it's a highly skilled
thing
to do, and I actually don't do it. I learnt how to do it, but I don't think I could do this because this is steel and it's very hard.
So someone did this.
And I have a professional spinner that makes them for me.
Okay.
And so being a spinner is a trade, and somebody will do this all day. But they're highly skilled because it's really quite
difficult, and it's
so. But we can look at something like that, and then in comparison to that, it's got a little bit sloshed on the wall.
Is that yours as well?
Yeah, but this is quite an old piece. It's got sloshed on the side. It is
on a trip.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It's well, the reason actually why is because this is silver, but it's not any silver. It's fine silver, so it's almost 100% silver, and it's hand raised. So again, that started off as a flat disc of metal, and then it's raised differently to this from the outside with hammers. So I've hammered it, and you hammer inside and outside. It's a very different process to this. And I used to make a lot of my work. Is that what
makes the surface like this?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. But I used to make a lot of my work like that, but I actually can't do so much because my arms won't take it anymore. But that was part of a chest I made the break because I love, we said taking things apart and putting them back together. And I love the marks. So kind of lines and stitches you can. And then that's a found nail from home.
Oh, is it?
That I attached it to. So it's got a black piece that goes with it. There's a black and white piece because they were for an exhibition about chess.
Oh right, okay.
So they were my chess pieces.
Beautiful. Will it stand?
No.
I'll have to.
But we can.
Lovely.
We can explore some of how.
I'd love to.
It can be propped up against a book.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Gorgeous. I was thinking about all my favourite films. You know, as soon as I start doing that, I go, I don't really have one. I was just trying to think what I think there's one that I don't own, but have you seen The Ratcatcher? Lynn Ramsey. That's one of my all-time favourites.
So.
And I don't have it in my case. But others that I had at home, which I liked for a reason or other, is, well, this is one that I really like, No Mood for Love. It's a beautiful film, but I think I like it mainly because it's a film about what doesn't happen. About the wait and and it's very beautifully filmed. There's a hues of slow motion in it, which is really gorgeous. But it's all the unsaid and it's really really beautiful. You've got a full suitcase.
I know, but it's a lot of material.
Great.
I bought because I share my workshop with David. I've got a lot of things that travel between us.
I love those.
And I brought some of these things because I thought we could do some putting things together. So I brought quite a lot of.
Oh wow! Magic. So are these like? Do you go in this thing and just grab it?
Yeah,
he
they're
doesn't need
offcuts from
anymore.
things, but I really.
They're really great, aren't they?
And basically like the blue is where it is painted blue.
And then
So they're the ends of the planks and they're painted blue. But I kind of got into the blue, and I was slightly also inspired by when you came to visit and you had a blue pram. So I bought the blue paint.
Hey!
And I've got some blue tape.
Strange, there's something with blue. Yeah, I'm saying Manly's favourite. You'll give him, it's just will take the blue chalk. It's got to be blue. He's decided it's his favourite colour. Maybe because his prom was blue. Beautiful.
It's influenced him.
Goodness.
Blue string.
What is all such thing about tape? No,
Well, and I have a bit of a thing about tape.
me too.
I've got some more in my bag over there, which I'll get at afterwards. But I'm quite interested in things in place. So these tapes are from America.
Oh, okay.
Those ones. And then I've got a thing about string as well, you know. So this string is from Antwerp. It's Belgian
They're
string.
lovely things to take back.
I think this is Japanese.
You didn't want me to take any from the shop.
Japanese string. It smells very nice.
I never thought about string really.
I can't remember where this one's from. And I suppose it all connects to the
String, holding things.
lines.
Yeah, lines. Yeah.
This is bookbinding string, which is really
It's really fine.
fine, but very, very strong.
Mm.
And then I suppose I really like. Well, I got this in Seattle, but that's really nice. Defining the string.
Goodness, yeah, look at that.
That one's from Japan.
Wow. It's like thread.
And then I suppose connected to that is wire. Because of my training,
Yeah.
you know, I spent a long time working with, I guess, your main, if there were two words to describe materials, it would be line and plane. So you have the flat sheet of something and then the lines.
Yeah.
So I quite often think of material as line and plane. So, you know, these are...
Material would be a key word to chat about.
Yeah, yeah.
The way we use it.
And so again, I collect wire. And some of it's found and some of it I buy in different places.
Did you see the big rolls of it?
Yes. Maybe we can go and steal
some of the big rolls.
yeah.
Good. Something really satisfying about that too, man.
Yeah, the weight.
The weight of it.
Yeah, so that's steel wire. Yeah, and there's some really nice, when you were saying about the marks on here, there are also some really nice words that you use, because in making in metal you use binding wire, it's called binding wire, to hold things together.
Yeah.
And it's called stitching, so I like the crossover in words, because it doesn't seem like a metal word, stitching.
No, not at all.
No. So.
Nice. I was thinking, because I guess I'm thinking about, you know, exchanging or lists of words and discussing our use of them. So you just reminded me of, we use marking, something very specific, which is actually not to do fully, but to underdo, to just mark through something. Let's march on through.
Oh right, well that would be really interesting.
It's quite
because in my, you would use marking out.
Marking out, yeah. But yeah.
Marking
I guess it's the through and the
Yeah.
out.
I brought some tools. Well, I brought these tools because I don't know if you saw in my studio, but I've got a collection of. They're called gravers. They're engraving tools, and I have about 40 of them, and they belong to somebody else, and I've never used them, but I just have them.
Do you like tools? Do you like these?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love tools, but because I learnt how to engrave, which is another thing that I can explain. And I like scratching metal, and actually it's one of the things that I learnt that I really enjoyed the process, because I realised later on that actually I like scraping into things and revealing things. So, and then I discovered that generations ago, on my maternal side there were lots of engravers. So
really?
yeah, so I sometimes wonder if, I mean, all of our, yeah, I know that all of our other kind of generations back, people would have made things, but you're sort of hardwired that material.
Yeah.
And that's really nice, that one, because I don't know if you can see it. I would have to have my glasses on to see, but it's got a little wheel in it. It's actually to make, you can feel it as it goes along.
I can see it. Oh my god, that's incredible. Yeah. Wow.
I really like the handles.
They're beautiful. But that's it. So I walk around the workshops and I just like looking at the tools and wow, they're so beautiful. I just love those objects. The sort of objects that are used to make the objects are the ones I'm firstly drawn to. I mean, obviously nothing else was very much on display, but I just like the objects so much. Somehow, and the way they are arranged or organised. Just the way something about the tools that that's really fascinating to me. They sound gorgeous. Really nice. Okay, mass. I brought some foam and chalk. But maybe we get your
we might get
your
that
board,
board
which
if
would
we
be
wanted.
brilliant. But I sometimes play with that. I just like writing and erasing and writing over and even writing and erasing partly and being left with something that becomes bears a new meaning.
Yeah. Well, I bought something similar. I found this. I found this paper in America a few years ago, and it's called graphite paper. And actually, it's really nice because you can draw through it.
I used that when I was little.
But you can also, you can see I've got some safety pins here. You can rub things through it. So it's a really nice thing for if you I think
you have to put it.
If you put it underneath.
Really? Oh, I see. Yes, that would leave the mark there.
You have to find a way, but
yeah, it would. It's quite dented. Oh, that's really.
And so I bought some of it. So we've got quite a lot of it and some white. So that we can. Yeah, I found it on the internet. So
wow, that's amazing.
I bought some of it for us.
Great.
It's like carbon paper, but graphite.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
It's lovely. Oh, great! I can't wait. I think we should watch this at some point. I've not watched it.
Oh no, I haven't. No. Yeah.
I'm kind of quite sad that I'm missing the whole PR retrospective at London at the moment.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, her influence is obviously great. I have only seen stuff on YouTube. I've never seen anything live. Oh no, it's not true. I did see one dress rehearsal. I said as well as ages ago and loved it, but yeah, obviously her influence is sort of massive, yeah, and direct and indirect, and yeah, be lovely too.
What else? I don't have to get every single thing out of here, I don't think, but I bought some paper,
Great.
which is out of the skip at work.
Is it? Goodness, people.
And brown paper.
Brown paper.
And I bought some found cardboards and things that I like to use. So
Some what, sorry?
sort of found cardboard and just
Oh,
bits and
nice.
pieces. And I bought some old bits of drawing and stuff, so that because they might be quite useful. A sketchbook that I made, I started but never. So I was thinking, oh, maybe
It has a second.
we can have
Finds it
another
different.
way.
Yeah, yeah. Nice.
Just yeah.
Do you have a hammer? Love it. Reminds me of Manny going around your studio with a hammer. Remember?
Those are good. Those are called parallel pliers. Those are very good.
Oh,
Of course, you always.
yeah.
If you're a jeweller or a metal person, you always have lots of pliers. So you know these studies where people say, "And what's in your handbag?"
Yeah, that's what
People I know have things like this in
in
their
their
handbags.
handbags.
But
I think that's a pretty cool thing to have.
it can look a bit dodgy depending on where you are. Yeah.
Brilliant. Look at that collection.
So lots of things.
Beautiful. Yeah, I realised as I was saying to you, I realised that my suitcase, in this instance, yeah, that objects that would go in a suitcase if I started a project most of the time would be linked to an idea to be developed or to already, would come later in the process than we at the stage at which we are now. So what filled my suitcase were more sort of, I guess a little bit in the sense you say you've got lots of tools left in there. I guess they are that in a way, thoughts and ideas and tools to sort of nourish what is to come. And yeah, any object, you know, I kind of had a few and I was actually no, because that's not linked to anything particularly. Whereas I remember when I started the last project, there were lots of objects, but because I guess they'd already been kind of, they were already imprinted in my mind that they would, could maybe find their way in. So maybe there's another suitcase moment too.
Yeah.
A different suitcase for London. Having
Yeah.
done the work that we would have done.
Yeah, I might
A
have
new
destroyed
suitcase.
this suitcase by then. This was my grandparents'
I was wondering
suitcase.
because it says, look, there on His Majesty's.
Yeah, my grandfather worked for the Ministry of Defence, so it was obviously his. And
Does it say
Yeah.
Glasgow?
no, that says Glascoed, which is in Wales. Yeah.
Very good.
Mm.